My name's John Pinkney. I'm sales manager at Salesforce Simplified, Computer Market Research. Computer Research, or CMR, is celebrating its 29th year in business this February, traditionally focusing on channel management and being the leader in the channel. Has over the past several years expanded into Salesforce.com consulting, customization, training. The breadth of our services is quite expansive. However, if an organization is using Salesforce.com and they have needs that cannot be handled outside of their organization, we're the folks to contact. Recently, we've launched our newest side to the business, Salesforce for Salespeople. This is very specific training designed for salespeople with all the around Salesforce.com. It's yet the most important people. The people using Salesforce are left out of the loop when it comes to training, and found very little content regarding training for the end user, for the salespeople, and it inspired us to create this training module. Today's going to be how to take effective notes, log a call, and make sure that you're doing it efficiently. Quick background on me: I have over 10 years in sales training experience, and have used sales as a salesperson and a sales manager. So today you're going to hear how to leverage Salesforce in this capacity, taking notes from somebody that actually used Salesforce and didn't just take some classes and read a book. So you have to make money. What I have set up here is a training instance. This instance that you're looking at is strictly for training purposes, so there's no confidential information visible, and all of the companies are made up. So to bring it full circle, this conversation is about how to take notes and do so efficiently and log all the calls and activities in a quick manner, so as salespeople we can move on to the next contact or prospect and efficiently. Go through my leads, and we'll look in future trainings about how to set up lead lists, or I should say views, to make contacting a bunch of companies consistently very simple and easy. But today we're going to just discuss how to take notes and do so while we're either on the phone with a client or typing emails. So when I'm looking at the lead view, I'm clicking on my general leads. I'm going to go to open leads, and then we're going to pick Jane Doe at Test Company 7. And while in this lead, let's say I'm talking on the phone with Jane Doe, and I get some information, maybe mostly if I'm cold calling, I'm not getting through directly to Jane in this call, though I know Jane is the individual I need to speak with. So in the notes, let's say I speak to Susie. So I'm going to put spoke with. I typically still use shorthand when I'm taking notes in the subject line. This is going to be really important, as I'll explain later, to see what kind of information that I've gathered very quickly in past conversations. So in future calls, I can be quick and witty or have the information available very quickly so that I can bring value to every sales call. So spoke with the gatekeeper, GC. Her name is Susie. Susie was our gatekeeper. And if I spoke to her today, which is the 2nd of February, I'm going to keep that as my initial topic. Now here in the comments, I don't usually put a lot of information simply because I can't readily view this information, at least as far as Salesforce.com, and when you get it out of the box, can be changed and customized almost any different way, though most organizations don't have the comment section visible at the level. So you'll see in a minute when I type my notes that these comments that I write aren't going to be visible from the lead view. Say I spoke to Susie. She said to call Jane after 5 p.m. on Thursday next week. I honestly don't usually care too much about typos. This is a presentation. I felt like I should do it the right way. So Susie, she said to call Jane after 5 p.m. on next Thursday, because it's Thursday, and create a follow-up task, which you're not familiar with. Tasks are phone, emails, and in some cases mailers that, actions, activity that you're going to either follow up on or commence. So say follow up, FU. Now again, if you have a dirty line, that means something else. It means follow up in Salesforce.com. So follow up with Jane 5 p.m. Really neat is that Salesforce makes our lives as salespeople very easy by helping us set reminders. So as you see here, on the bottom there's a reminder field, drop down. In that field, in the drop down, pick list, I'm going to click on 5 p.m. because that's the time that Susie told me that Jane was going to be in next Thursday. And next Thursday being the 29th. All of my tasks and reminders are all set. Now this status, it's not started yet, so I'm going to look at it as not started, and everything is good to go. So I'm going to click save. Really important to save every time you create a new task, what have you in Salesforce, so you'll lose your data. Here now, in my activity history, it's that I spoke with Susie, the gatekeeper, but what's missing? Remember when I said before there was no visible, the cuts wouldn't be visible on level? It's not. So in order for me to gather that information, I literally have to drill through to find out the notes and read the notes that I took when I spoke to Susie the first time around. So I like to put as much information in the subject line as possible, and often using shorthand helps me accomplish that goal, so that when I do pick up the phone and I get the reminder from Salesforce at 5 p.m. next Thursday, a little pop-up's going to come up and it's going to say follow up with Jane, though when I actually do look at the lead and I click through the lead, it's going to give Susie's name at a glance, which is going to be extremely important for me to bring some familiarity to that cold call and make it seem like I'm not just calling out of the blue this time, even though I might have on the initial cold call. It's going to warm up the conversation. Now Jane's going to feel a lot more comfortable speaking to me because gatekeeper Susie gave me permission to call Jane, which if she is a good gatekeeper, she probably keeps all the bad salespeople away. And Jane has rapport with her and trust, and Jane doesn't know me, Adam. However, since Susie passed me along and I drop her name, now I'm in the door and I've got a little bit more time than if I were to be, cold calling, as it were. So this is how to take notes and log a call within Salesforce.com. I hope you appreciate the advice on how to successfully follow up with clients and set reminders and take notes to assure that your future calls are not as cold, writing the subject line and notes within Salesforce. So I appreciate your time. I'm going to put up some comments for our organization and show everyone how they can get with us at other social media places, and as well our email and phone. That's it for today. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to help folks with their future Salesforce.com needs. Have a good day.